Welcome to the online Healthcare Orientation Introduction. This is for people interested in the medical assistant, nurse aide, pharmacy technician, or billing and coding programs at Nova Workforce. Included in this orientation, we will discuss the grant requirements for the Fast Forward grant and FANCIC grant. Also, an overview of all healthcare classes, expectations, an overview of healthcare job expectations, and finally, the option to receive career coaching. All right, so many of you watching this may be eligible for the Fast Forward grant. This grant is through the state of Virginia, and it pays for 2/3 of the cost of the class, and it includes a book and a test voucher. That means the student is responsible to pay 1/3 of the cost of the class. So if, for example, a class costs $3,000, that means the student would pay $1,000. The student must be domiciled in the state of Virginia for 12 plus months consecutively, based on their own domicile or for whoever claims them on their taxes. All right, the FANCIC grant is layered on top of the Fast Forward grant, so that means you must be domiciled in Virginia through yourself or someone else, and it pays 80% of the first 1/3. So if the class is $3,000, the Fast Forward grant pays for $2,000 of it, meaning there's $1,000 left, and the FANCIC grant would pay for 80% of that, meaning it pays $800, meaning a student would pay about $200 total for it. Now, there's something important to discuss here. So when you go into the Fast Forward grants or the FANCIC grant requirements, you see that if a student fails to do the following, they may owe back to the state 1/3 of the total cost of the class, even for FANCIC grant students. So even a student who paid $200 on a $3,000 class, they may owe back $1,000 if they do not follow these. So the first item is they must attend 90% of a class sessions. If a class meets 10 times, that means they must attend at least 9 of the sessions on time. The student must also pass the class by completing or passing any required quizzes and assignments given by the instructors. If a student does not pass the class, they may not be able to use grant funding to help with another Fast Forward class as well. So there are some expectations of the students. So it's important to know that you must finish the class successfully. So we will discuss what you need to do and what you need to be in order to succeed. So this is a college level class. So that means that you must have a high level of English language comprehension. So that would mean American high school 12th grade understanding or the equivalent American GED or better. If you've taken college classes or if you've done anything else that shows that you have the right level of English comprehension, we can discuss that possibility of taking the class because of that. You can also work with the counselors to see if you are ready for the class or if you need another class, maybe an ESL class or developmental English class first. You must also be comfortable learning an EMR system. So you must be comfortable with learning a new type of software. Have you learned different types of softwares in the past? Are you very adept with different types of softwares? These are some things to think about to determine if you are ready for that. The student must be prepared to study up to an hour of time outside of class for every hour in class every week. So if you go to a class that meets for 10 hours a week, that means you should make sure you have 10 hours of time outside of class to study. Now you might need a little less or you might need more, but we ask that you have that time set aside so you know that you can succeed. All right, this is a college level class with academic rigor, including multiple quizzes, tests, and learning skills. You may need to know how to think critically, take good notes, study effectively. You may need to memorize and participate in class discussions. These are all important things you should be able to do to be successful in this class. All right, you must also have access to and be proficient using a computer. So Keyboarding, you must be at least adequate with typing. You don't have to be the fastest typer, but at least know how to use it, use a mouse, know how to go online, other basic computer essentials. You must also have access to a computer at home. So if you have any questions or concerns, you may want to contact us, the career coaches. I'm one of them, or counselor, at novaworkforce@nvcc.edu. We can discuss how can you be prepared. We can discuss other outside resources as well to help you be prepared if you are not quite prepared. If you have any other questions or comments. All right, a few extra things here. The student handbook. Students are responsible for all content in their respective handbook. The handbook information will be in the course description of the class. So you must know that very well. There's also a student code of conduct. Students are responsible to be familiar with it. It is found at NOVA's webpage, the policies and procedures. Each health profession has a code of professional conduct administered by a professional organization or regulatory agency. Students must understand and adhere to these standards. Academic integrity. So no cheating is allowed. Academic dishonesty in any form is not tolerated. It could possibly result in being expelled from the program. All right, further, we should look at the attendance policy. So again, remember, you must attend 90% or more of the classes. If a student is late more than 20 minutes to any class, that is counted as a tardy. And if you are tardy 3 times, that equals 1 absence. There is no difference between an excused or unexcused absence. So even if you have a doctor's note, even if there is a good reason, you still must attend. Now, it's always a good idea to let your teacher know, what's going on if you are not there for some reason. They care about what you're doing, inside and outside of class. They care, but at the same time, there is no difference between excused and unexcused when it comes to absences. Finally, especially in the winter, you should sign up for Nova Alert. This is for knowing about weather policy. Also, let's say, for instance, a classroom has a chemical spill or there's a fire or something like that. You'll be informed through Nova Alert about any closings or delays. Not just winter, though. Even though we have winter storms that affect a lot of this, things can happen at any time of the year. So we encourage you to use this. All right, so general job expectations are important because this class is meant to help you get a job. So if you are not able to reach or meet these expectations, you may want to reconsider taking the class. So physical requirements, you must be able to stand or sit for long periods of time. You must be able to reach above shoulder level and lift heavy loads, possibly up to 50 pounds. You may need to look at a screen for a very long period of time. It is necessary to communicate very well. All right, so speaking, writing, listening. So if you have a lot of problems with that, with understanding people or people understanding you, if there's a lot of that issue, you may want to talk with the counselors about how you can improve before taking this class. All right, usage of electronic communication. You must be able to use a computer, printer, fax, or at least learn how to use it. All right, here are a few more mental requirements. You must be able to read, write, use simple mathematic reasoning, maybe even basic algebra, weighing, measuring, analyzing data, reporting information. Again, this is a college level course, so it may have some college level content in some of these. You will not need to know trigonometry or calculus or anything like that, but there is some a good level of math that might be needed, all at a college level. All right, working environments, safety requirements. You must understand that you are working around mechanical, electrical, chemical, and infectious material. They are present. You must be able to withstand pressure from multiple calls, frequent interruptions, and irregular hours. These are all parts of the job, and you might even be around this in the class itself or the externship if you partake in the externship for the program. All right, finally, career coaching is something that you can opt into. In the orientation and the questions, you can do that there. You can email us at any time at novaworkforce@mvcc.edu. This is myself and Jen, my coworker. You may receive invites or special career boosting information from us. We can help with interview prep, searching for a job, and more. We can communicate through email, phone, in person, through instant message. If needed, we can talk in person even. You can request to be taken out of the program at any time. It's fairly informal. We will reach out to you. We may reach out to you several times. If we hear nothing from you for many months, we might stop contacting you at that point. But we're always available if you need help with anything career-wise, and we also try to provide opportunities for you to boost your career. All right, thank you, and that's all for this section.